Hi folks, this is Tom Chalmers McGlaughlin and I'll be your instructor for the homelessness and social work class. Um, some of you may have had me for other classes in your educational career, and I just wanted to provide you with just a quick overview of our class and some of the concepts that we'll be talking about. And I wanted to purposefully start our class with a video of me. This is my home. You'll notice here I have a fire in the background. I live on an island off the coast of Maine. It's almost 5 o'clock at night. The sun's starting to set because it's that time of the year here. And it's 44 degrees. The forecast is to go down to 32 degrees, which is actually a good thing for us here because it means that we may not have our first frost of the year. Keep in mind this is October 29th. Usually we have a frost by this time, but we haven't. So what that means for me is we have a garden outside, and some of the veggies and of course the basil and other things that really can't stand frost will survive another day. So we can harvest that and we can eat that later this weekend. Temperature is forecast to be above freezing at least through Monday. So I decided that it would be important to kind of start this introduction from home because we're talking about homelessness. And you'll notice in the introductory materials that you'll see from week one, my journey through just a short episode of homelessness. But as I mentioned, it's going to be 44 degrees tonight. Now, I don't know what other parts of the country you're from, but here in Maine, that's not too cold, so to speak. I can put a jacket on, a sweatshirt, and I could sleep out in a tent. That would be fine. But by the end of our class in December, here in Maine, it'll be below freezing every night after Thanksgiving. So by the time we end our class, it will be cold in most parts of the country. And then in January and February, it may never get above 32 degrees here for 2 months. And that might be an exaggeration, but it's not going to get above 45 at least until March or mid-March. So this fire that I have going back here, come the end of our class, will be going pretty much continually until March. We'll feed it every night, my wife and I, and we'll gather here in our living room to gather around the fireplace to stay warm. And I just want you to think about that as we go through our class. You'll notice I posted a kind of tips for success in our class, and one of the things that I'll ask you to do is to find out what is the homelessness plan for your community. Rather you live in the South, where you deal with probably the reverse of what we deal with in the terms of the cold. In the summertime it's extreme heat, and that impacts on people. But I just want you to think about that. We're going to really look at issues of people's lives and how our country really wrestles with this issue of homelessness. I think it's something that was created, frankly, in the 1980s with the idea that would be solved within 10 years of, easily by 1993 or 1994, homelessness in the U.S. would have been solved. And here we are almost 40 years later, and we're still dealing with this issue. So we're going to talk about it in the abstract concept, and we're going to talk about it from the policy perspective and how social workers should deal with this. But I just want you to keep in mind that there are real issues. And take a minute as we start our class to just think about what your home looks like. And what would that be like if you had to schlep around all the stuff that you have? how would your life be different if all the things that you had fit in a trash bag, or all the things that you had to carry around day to day to different locations and things like that. Anyway, I'll check in with some other videos throughout the class, but I really want to think about this class as a connection between social policy, the work that happens in the field, the good work that social workers do, and how our own lives are impacted by the issue of homelessness. I have a dog here, but I've asked her to provide a cameo shot, and she said no. So she's probably going to head to the fire here in a minute because it's getting warmer. But anyway, welcome to our class, and I'm excited about this. This is the third time I've taught this class, and I learn more about homelessness and how the solutions are playing out throughout the country each time I offer it. So thank you.